Welcome back to your monthly fragrance news, where I'm going to tell you which new fragrances are worth getting and which new ones we can forget about. So let's start off with the new limited edition collection from Jo Malone. So every year, Jo Malone comes out with a limited edition collection inspired by British heritage. And so this new one is inspired by British antique markets. You'll see that each of the fragrances have a different bottle. And I think that this looks so cute and collectible. I think it's beautiful. First up, we have Musk Momento. This is inspired by a traditional soap bar, and it's meant to be a clean musk with a soapy feel. To me, this fragrance is such a sparkling, bright, musky scent. There's a lot of aldehydes in this fragrance. It smells so good. I'm gonna say it right now. This is my favorite from the collection, and it is a standout. It's the most unique one of them all. There's also some lavender, which adds an aromatic softness, and it does dry down very clean, soap-like, and the sillage is very good on this one. Probably the best out of the 4 fragrances from this collection. So if you're looking for a unique, sparkling, fresh, musky scent that smells super clean, I definitely recommend you check this out. Next is Emerald Thyme, and it's inspired by a botanical concoction of lemon, thyme, and rosemary. To me, this perfume is more of a citrus eau de cologne type of scent. I don't get much of the aromatics, or I wish I did, because I think it's quite an interesting combo, rosemary and thyme, but I don't get much of it in here. I mainly get a soft, fresh citrus, neroli type of scent. It's nice, but it's not anything spectacular. There's so many fragrances like this already, so I would pass on this one. Next is Passiflora, and this I feel would be one of the best-selling fragrances from the collection. This is inspired by the Passiflora flower, so more of an exotic floral. You can expect a floral amber fragrance. There is a delicious almond milky vibe about it, which is so good. There's also honeysuckle, but to me this fragrance smells very similar to Gris Charnel. But picture this. Picture a summery version of Gris Charnel. So Gris Charnel goes on holiday. This is what Passiflora smells like, which makes it wearable for the summertime, which I love because I love Gris Charnel. It's not as spicy or as fruity fig-like as Gris Charnel, but there is a very strong similarity with it, and I highly recommend this if you love more spicy, almond, floral amber type of scents. And finally, there is ginger beer, and this is inspired by the beverage, ginger beer. So there's ginger, there's cinnamon, and oak. This is more of an uplifting, citrus spicy fragrance with a warm base of wood. It's as if you were entering an antique shop. So you just walked into an antique boutique, you're surrounded by treasures that have a past life, there's history, you're surrounded by wooden bookshelves. That to me is what is encapsulated in this perfume. I'm not wowed by it, if I'm honest. It's nice, but not amazing. So from the Jo Malone collection, I would recommend these 2 fragrances for you to try, Musk Momento and Passiflora. This next fragrance I'm so excited about. It is Chloé Nomade Nuit d'Egypte, and it's inspired by Kifi. And Kifi is the first fragrance ever to be recorded that was used by ancient Egyptians for religious ceremonies, but also for medicinal purposes, and it smells quite incense-like. Now, with this perfume, there are some resinous notes like Opopanax, Cypriol, Myrrh. You also have the addition of vanilla, and it focuses on an orange blossom scent. So initially, looking at the notes, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a really warm, resinous, ambery type of composition. Not at all. This perfume is very fresh. It celebrates a honeyed, sweet orange blossom scent with a warm vanilla base. It is so beautiful. There's also a touch of a fruity dimension, but it's not as prominent as in Chloé Nomade Eau de Parfum Naturel. And I've compared the 2. I would say Nuit d'Egypte is more for daytime, whereas Chloé Nomade Eau de Parfum Naturel is more for the evening because it's more intense, it's more sweet and gourmand versus Chloé Nomade Nuit d'Egypte. Sadly, the longevity isn't great on this fragrance. I get around 4 hours wear, which is a shame, but otherwise it smells really good. My DMs have been flooded with requests to review these fragrances from Atelier, Villa Primrose, and Blue Madeleine. Now I haven't been able to give the 2 fragrances a proper wear, so I'm just gonna give you my first impressions. The packaging is a 10 out of 10. Now Villa Primrose is a leathery rose perfume. There's also notes of iris, musk, leather, rose centifolia, and some spices as well as pear. This is a fresh, dewy rose with a soft, musky, suede-like background. It's also a bit powdery. It's a nice perfume, but it's not groundbreaking. I feel like I've smelled other fragrances like this before. Now, Blue Madeleine, on the other hand, is another story. I love this perfume. It is a spicy tea scent with a gourmand twist. It's so delicious. Now, this is not a gourmand. I wouldn't classify this as a gourmand. It's really more of a spicy tea. It actually reminds me of a discontinued Aqua Allegoria fragrance from Guerlain. It's the Thé Azzurra one, which I loved, which was a spiced tea. And this is so delicious. It smells like having cream afternoon tea. So you have a bergamot tea with some milk, so it's like really nice and milky. And then you add in a little shortbread biscuit. This is what this fragrance smells like to me. Really enjoy this one, and I would recommend you check it out if you're looking for a unique take on a tea scent. We have a new limited edition fragrance from Jo Loves, which is called With Love from Positano. The packaging is beautiful. Now, this perfume is a fresh cologne-like type of scent. You have orange, there's bergamot, star anise. This perfume smells very Italian to me. This is Italian elegance and class in a bottle. Is it groundbreaking? No. Do you need it? No. I feel like you can find just as great fragrances at a much more affordable price versus this one. So for me, this perfume sadly is a pass. Next is Vanille des Afriques from Ormond Jane, and this is a parfum concentration, so you can expect something that is strong. And I'm going to read to you the note from the brand because it perfectly describes the way that this fragrance smells. So it is a balmy evening enjoying sunset whilst a warm breeze billows through silks and linens. So this is a balmy vanilla, and it's not an edible, super sugary sweet vanilla. This is a noble, balmy vanilla. It has a narcotic effect, so it's very powerful in a similar way that some exotic florals can have a narcotic, intoxicating effect. I get this with Vanille des Afriques. It smells like the skin warmed by the sun. That is what I get from this perfume. It feels a little bit green, almost oily, if you will. And there is a slight animalic note that is reminiscent of the actual vanilla pod. So if you want a natural smelling vanilla, not as strong as, say, Paris Vanille de Tahiti, where the animalic / fecal side is very strong. Here you're not going to get this. This is really balmy, warm vanilla that is great for the summertime. I have a little bit of mixed feelings with this one. I prefer more edible, yummy vanillas, but if you want a vanilla that isn't too sweet, give this one a sniff. Next is the Heart of Leo from Gucci. This is part of the Alchemist collection, so the higher end collection from Gucci. And this fragrance is, for me, all about a fruity experience. So you have the main note of blackcurrant. There's also myrrh and olibanum. So initially you're like, okay, this maybe is a resinous fragrance. For me, no, this is a powdery, fruity experience. The blackcurrant is super prominent. It actually reminds me a little bit of Ribena. So like a tangy, sweet blackcurrant that is balanced with a powdery, lipsticky iris feel. Even though there's no iris in this perfume, I get a powdery lipstick effect similar to what you would find in Dior Homme from Dior. So if you like Dior Homme, then I recommend you check this out, especially if you like fruity notes as well. I think this is a great fragrance for evening wear. It's unisex and a surprising twist on a fruity scent. Next up is Alula from Penhaligon's. The bottle is so beautiful. I love Penhaligon's packaging. This is a gorgeous spicy amber fragrance. The opening is so spicy. It's as if you were crushing ground black pepper with cardamom, with turmeric, and then you added a sprinkle of saffron. That is how spicy the opening is. And then it reveals a dance between frankincense and plum. So there is a constant tension between frankincense and plum, the frankincense bringing a citrusy, spicy side, whereas the plum is more of a dried plum, so it's a sweet plum as opposed to a juicy plum. It is really good, but it's not too sweet. And I find this fragrance to be very elegant, great for evening wear. The projection is moderate, but the lasting power is really good, and it's unisex as well. So I would highly recommend this. If you like fragrances such as Rouge Sarail from Atelier, definitely check out Alula. So Armani have released My Way Nectar, another flanker to My Way, and this one is all about a juicy, fresh pear and musk. Of course, you still have the florals, but really it's the juiciness of pear and musk paired together. Now, this fragrance in the opening smells similar to Daisy Oh So Fresh from Marc Jacobs or Perfect from Marc Jacobs. So if you like those fragrances, I feel like My Way Nectar is a natural progression. To me, it's giving cute, girly, early 2000 teenager vibes. It's fresh, it's airy, it's nothing special, and I think, frankly, it's a little bit lazy. So for me, this fragrance is a pass. But if you like the Marc Jacobs fragrances that I mentioned earlier, you'll probably also enjoy this. Next is Infuse from Acro, and this perfume is inspired by the flavor of oolong tea. Now, oolong tea can be expressed in many different ways. Some facets of oolong tea can be more fruity, others more bitter, more herbal. And in this perfume, with the addition of osmanthus, you get a fruity expression of oolong tea. There's also some mate and gaiac wood. So for me, this fragrance, when it opens, it's a fresh, citrusy floral tea with that osmanthus that is going to give a delicious apricot feel. It's as if you had little bits of dried apricot in an oolong tea and you were sipping on that. For me, this is what this fragrance is like. And as it continues to develop, you're going to get the smokiness of gaiac wood that's going to come through. So it's a dance between a floral, fresh apricot and then a smoky, woody backdrop. So if you like smoky tea scents or if you like osmanthus, I definitely recommend you check it out. The longevity is good on this perfume, especially for a tea scent. I get around 6 hours wear. Now, gentlemen, if you're looking for a long-lasting beast mode citrus fragrance, look no further than Perseus from Parfums de Marly. Also, ladies, if you enjoy long-lasting, more woody type of citrus fragrances, I'd recommend you check this out. Now, this perfume is all about a zesty, bitter grapefruit scent mixed with vetiver. So it has a really bright, zesty feeling with a woody backdrop. To me, this perfume is a hybrid between Elysium from Roche de Parfum and Pomelo Riviera from Atelier des Ors. If those two fragrances had a baby, it would be Perseus. But Perseus has the best projection, the longevity. This perfume lasts at least 10 hours on my skin, if not more, with an incredible projection. So I find that this is a great freshie for the summer. It's versatile. This is a casual type of scent, which you can wear throughout the day, especially on a hot summer day. The way this next perfume has me in a chokehold is not normal, okay? It is the new Tubereuse Astrale from Maison Crivelli. This is my favorite tuberose scent of the moment. It is spectacular and it doesn't smell like any other tuberose fragrance out there. It is so unique. I am obsessed with this. I've worn it a lot and it's so strong. The sillage is insane. It will last days and days on the skin. I wore this the other day. I was testing it out and then I was going to the gym. And I was actually stopped in the street by two guys. One of them came up to me and I was like, why is this dude talking to me? And then he complimented me on my fragrance. So immediately my mood went from like, don't talk to me to like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you more. And so they loved it. They were interested in buying it. So yeah, if this says anything about this perfume, voila. So it's a fruity tuberose. I almost get a grape-like fruitiness from this scent. It smells like the taste of some Japanese grape sweets that I had in the past, which I love. I'm not mad at it. The only thing I will mention with this perfume is that it opens a little spicy and there's cumin in this fragrance. So the cumin does come on my skin at the beginning, which I'm not a fan of, but it does settle down, thankfully, into this beautiful fruity tuberose with a suede-like background. So it's a little bit suede-like, leathery, which is incredible. Trust me, this is a compliment magnet, okay? This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. I highly recommend you check it out if you like tuberose, if you like fruity tuberoses, if you want to be noticed with your perfume. Tuberose Astral is where it's at. Calling all gourmand lovers, especially those of you who enjoy milky, lactonic fragrances, you need to get your nose on Red from Sora Dora. Now this is a collaboration with Jovois, so you can get this perfume at Jovois. I love this fragrance. Oh, mon Dieu. It smells so good. Oh my goodness. So it is a milky, creamy vanilla cream with a lemony side. If you enjoy fragrances such as Remember Me from Jovois or Rima 11 from Carner, you're going to love this perfume. It's basically a mix of those two fragrances in a new fragrance. It's so good. And it also projects really well. It's long lasting on my skin. I love it. It's milky, it's vanilla, it's edible, it's yummy. Just try it. Now, if you enjoy these type of fragrance reviews, make sure you check out this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in an upcoming video. Bye.